get to Friday night where the minor premiers, the Melbourne Storm, take on the Manly Seagulls. The Storm lineup as so. Pappenhausen, Jennings, Remus Smith, Olam, Lumi, Munster, Hughes, Bromwich, Smith, Welsh, Kafusi, Kenny Bromwich, Dale Finucane. The interchange is Harry Grant, Kamakamika, Nelson Asafa, Solomona, and Nico Hines rounds out the 17. Obviously, no Addo Carr this week. For Manly, Travojevic, Saab, Parker, Harper, Garrick, Foran, Cherry Evans, LOA starting prop, Croker, Tapau, Olakawatu, Schuster, Travojevic, Jake, Walker, Lawton, Kepi, and Paseka. Lead us away, Barney. First of all, obviously Melbourne heavy favourites here, but we are seeing the clash of arguably the best team in the comp taking on the best player in the comp. What are you making of this game?
Probably close to the best the best form team in the comp as well, with Manly on the back of the last probably 8 to 10 weeks. They've been close to the form team in the competition. Both of these teams are as close to full strength as I think I've seen them for the entire season, to be honest, and that's a bit of a scary thought with considering Melbourne's been without a lot of players for a large majority of this year. It's going to be interesting. I can see this game playing out a lot like the most recent game between these two teams.
I should have mentioned, so last time they met, it was 28-18, and Olam's 2 tries, I guess, was the main difference.
Absolutely. I can see Manly absolutely targeting young Lumi on the wing. He looks like he can be pressured into a few mistakes and a couple of bad reads in defence. And I can see a lot of their attack being targeted in that position. Olam, while he is a very strong head-on defender, he does struggle if someone gets on his outside or his inside to move inside and out to cover either his winger or his half on the inside of him. I really want to tip Manly in this game, but I can see Melbourne suffocating them through the forwards. This forward pack is as good as any other forward pack running around in the competition. Manly,
there's a lot being made of sort of the resting and the rotation injuries through the back line. It's actually the first time, as long as I can remember, they've had their full strength forward pack.
Absolutely. And I can see them suffocating Manly in the middle and trying to keep this. Manly need to win this game on the edges, and if they're going to win, they're going to need to spread the ball. They're going to need to very fast up-tempo in the middle, that sort of tit-tat football that you've heard me talk about during the year. Get down quick, get quick play the balls, and then get quick shifts to the edge and try to expose Melbourne's edges, which over the last probably month has been more exposed than I've seen it throughout the rest of the season. But on the other side of that, Melbourne is going to try and suffocate the play of the ball. They're going to try and slow down the play of the balls when Manly have the ball, and then they're going to try and play an up-tempo, and very similar to what they did to the Sharks last week, change of directions and back in behind the ruck and trying to expose the big men in the middle and try to break open the ruck for Melbourne to get on the front foot. And if Melbourne can get on the front foot through the middle of the ruck, they can score points in any part of the field. Whereas I'm not sure Manly can score as many points as Melbourne can through the middle. So I'm going to have Melbourne in a very tight tussle, 1-12, with the man of the match more than likely being Jerome Hughes, just being able to sort of choose which way, if they go wide or if they come back through the middle, as the general and the playmaker in this game. And I'm going to go with the first try. I think Manly might score the first try on Lumi's edge. I'm not sure if it's going to be Garrick or if it's going to be Saab up against him, but I'll go with Garrick, first try scorer for the Manly side.
Yeah, I am going to go Melbourne as well. I agree with what Barney said. If Melbourne are winning this one, they're winning it through the middle. If Manly are to win this one, though, and again, Parramatta's the only team that's really been able to do this both times they've played Melbourne, is not only hang with them for that first 20 minutes, it's going at them. And it's taking them out of their game a bit. Teams like to play a bit conservative at the start of a game against Melbourne, and Melbourne usually bully them and end up kicking on with the game. Manly have to not be afraid to get the ball out wide, try things early in this game, and really try to throw Melbourne off. If they can do that, which I think Manly are more than capable of doing, sort of Tommy Turbo, that amazing support play, he's going to be vital in that first 20 minutes. Doing that. So I think if Manly are going to win, they're going to need a big start to the game, at least a big first half, I would say. Otherwise, they're in danger of allowing Melbourne to run away with it, because Melbourne are going to grind and it's going to be through the middle. But if Melbourne are up by 12 points per se, they're going to start throwing it around. And that's when your Justin Olms, your George Jennings, your Pappenhausen support play, when Nico comes on as well, that's when they're going to be dangerous. So if Manly can sort of get the advantage and take the ball away from the middle as much as they can, I think that's going to be beneficial to them. But I will be going with Melbourne 1-12 here, purely just to that experience as well, that finals experience they've got. I was watching 360 today, and I'm not saying it necessarily will happen, but we talk about all these players who have had dominant seasons prior to Tom Trbojevic, your Jared Haynes, your Jason Taumalolo's 2017, your Ben Barbers, who was the one team who was able to contain all three of those players in the end. It was Melbourne. So their experience, that's stopping the quote-unquote best player in the game. Let's see if they're able to do that here. I do think it's Manly's best chance at beating Melbourne. I think if they're to verse in a grand final, I'd comfortably go with Melbourne. And obviously Melbourne beat them earlier this year. So while it's their best chance to do so, still going the Storm 1-12. I'm going to say first try scorer is Brandon Smith, because, again, if Melbourne are winning, they're going to be playing up the middle. So a dart from dummy half once they get close to the line. And man of the match, let's double down on the cheeseburger.
Like what you both said, the thing with Melbourne is I think their best games this year was just before the injuries started. When they really had that 1-2 punch nailed through the ruck, whereas the bang, 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 real up tempo. And now you throw the third punch in with the best sort of ruck supporting fullback in Pappenhausen coming back now to his form. It's bang, 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 bang eventually. And that's the area of concern, that they're now going to have you've got Lockie Croker trying to patrol that ruck, plus, and God bless them, because they're two of my favourite players in the game, Olakau'ato and Schuster. They're now playing finals footy against a seasoned international forward pack at full strength that has to control this. The tempo is going to be up a notch, which means that ruck speed's going to be up a notch, which means it won't happen straight away, but I think those cracks will happen enough where I can see it being a similar scoreline, to be honest, 28-32 to sort of 14-16. The edges are the concern for Melbourne in terms of defence, because you'll have Tommy looking and for those sweeping runs. But I think now they're getting their full strength forward pack. It just how much Finucane does put back into this team, how much Kafusi does put back in this team, and the Bromwich boys put back into this team. It sets up a massive platform for that straight through the guts. Melbourne, hopefully they keep it simple, don't fuck around and go direct from the start. If they do that, they'll win. But I can still see Manly being good enough to bounce back and perhaps challenge them come grand final day. But I think that's how this game will play out. First try scorer. Yes, Melbourne 1-12, first try scorer. Yeah, I'm going to double down on that and say Pappenhausen, and man of the match will be one of the hookers. Let's say Cheese as well.